Dispatchers help callers on the worst days of their lives. For over 25 years, we've been there. A silent partner in millions of calls thanks to our redundant and diverse networks that ensure call delivery. Today, cities are bigger, traffic more congested, and the challenge is more complex. But you're never alone, because InDigital is quietly improving, implementing, and driving the next generation of 911, so you're supported in every situation. Make the switch at InDigital.net.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Yo, what is going on? All right, so I guess I can't hardline it. I have to be on the Wi-Fi. Something is up with my Wi-Fi satellite. So here we are. We are on. Hopefully continues to go all right here, and it's not like all all robotic and everything. Hopefully it stays all right. Usually I have it to where I'm hardline and not on the actual Wi-Fi, so I'm not sure what's going on with it right now, but I will just stay on the Wi-Fi. I won't switch it off. I will make sure that it stays and continue to go that way. And hopefully for this hour for Open Mic Live, it won't be all crappy. Hopefully the internet connection will hold. Again, I don't know what's going on, but we are here. We are back. Welcome back to Open Mic Live. It is September 21st, 2025. And how is everyone doing? How are you doing this week? How are you doing today? A lot of stuff going on this past couple of weeks actually, but especially this past week as well. So, as we always do about this time, here on Open Mic Live, we check in with each other. So again, how's everyone doing? But let's go with a scale of 1 to 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty and 10 being awesome, how are you doing? How are you feeling? How are things going tonight? Or even this past week? What number do you have here on a Sunday, past week and going into Monday? I would say I'm at an 8. Coming in pretty good. This past weekend was pretty busy. Had a lot of stuff going on. I also hold on, before we get into this, let me say this really quick. This live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital, a leader next gen core services. Shout out to subscribers as always. Thank you all very, very much. This Saturday was spent with family, especially my kids on yesterday, actually, because, well, there were 2 wrestling pay-per-views, and if you know me by now and my kids, we are big wrestling fans. So we had 2 of them that were going on that were pretty good, and that was a lot of fun. Also, this past Friday, I ended up going into Indy to pick up the new the new iPhone. And there were probably about 200 people there. I was not expecting it to be packed like that. Luckily, I had ordered it beforehand because I do a lot of content creation, as you all know, as you've seen. I'm posting videos all the time, videos that I create on the fly and everything. So the cameras, I want it for the cameras and just to be able to do everything that I do. Morgan popping in here. What's up, yo? Solid 7 riding the neutral train. There you go. All right, awesome. Okay, 7 is good. 7 is a good number. I'm down with that. I dig that. 7 is excellent. So, I ask all the time. I ask people, especially dispatchers, new dispatchers that I meet when I'm teaching or I'm out at the ranch or I am out at the, whatever conference that's going on that I'm out at. I will ask people, have you ever had a moment where you dig in to your dispatch skills in whatever situation it is that you're in? Because I know that I have had to reach in many times to my dispatch skills, and we're talking like wordsmithing things, reading people, using that dispatch ear, being patience, right? Being patient. And again, just like reading the room. Many times I've had the chance to use that, and it has worked out. I don't know about you, but in the comments, if you can, have you ever had to do that? Have you ever had a moment where you have to dig in? Especially because there are just some times, man, there are just some times where you have to dig in to use those skills. So, like I said, I went to go pick up that phone, and I was there. The line was crazy long. Like I said, there was about 200 people there, and at this time, I'm at the very back of the line, and there's a group of dudes together. Excuse me. There's a group of dudes together, and they're in front of me, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna get a phone," and they have people out there, those that are working for the store, the Apple store, and they have them coming up, and they're asking, did you order already? Do you have a pickup? Do you have, um, or are you just coming in to buy? And these guys were just coming in to buy, and they go, "How long is the wait?" And the dude goes, "It's going to be about 2.5 hours of wait." And they go, "Well, so what if we leave? Like, what if we leave? Like, we, put our names down or whatever. We leave, we come back. How does that work? Can we just do that?" And the guy goes, "You can leave if you want to." Latinas of 911, Josie, what's going on? Jojo, um, he goes, "You can leave if you want, but I'm telling you right now, the line might be short, or it might be even longer." So they go, "Well, what would you do?" And the guy goes, "I would just stay." So they did. So as they're talking and everything, and they're talking through this, I'm just standing there chilling, and more people are in back of me now. And there's a guy who walks up to me, and he goes, "Are you here for a pickup, or are you just standing in line?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'm in line." I said, I ordered, I purchased the phone and the headphones earlier today." And he goes, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Yeah, I've got like this QR code and stuff." And he goes, "Come this way." And I thought, "Oh, all right. I will follow you, sir." And the dudes in front of me were pissed. Like, they were not happy. And they go, "We're ahead of that guy. How come he's going ahead of us?" And Like they were talking, and I just was like, just kind of nodded my head, like I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to say a word. And so he takes me inside the store, and I'm right there for the order pickup, and the dude goes, "Can I see the QR code?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "The only thing is that for whatever reason it says that I have to get the phone tomorrow." And he goes, "No, we got you. It's here. It's ready. It's just for others who haven't, that they want the experience or whatever." I was like, "Yeah, I'm just picking up the phone and leaving." So I get my stuff, and it was 20 minutes compared to the 2.5 hours it was going to take to even get into the store. And when I left, the dudes were, I felt so bad. The dudes were just looking at me like, "You see that? He already got his stuff. What the hell?" And then one of the other guys goes, "He must have ordered his earlier." They're like, "Whatever." I was like, remain calm. Remain calm. Jojo over here says, "I still have the iPhone 12. Hey, that's a solid phone, man. It lasts." Also, Jojo says, "2 hours, me muero." Just she goes, "I'll die. I would die." I was ready to wait. I was already there. I'd already purchased it, but they brought me in. And I mean, there have been other times where things have been happening where I've just had to dig in and just hear someone out. Again, have those patience, dig into those dispatch skills. But man, sometimes you're like, I want to say something, but is it worth it? Is it worth it? Probably not. I mean, there's that choose your, who cares? Well, I was able to get there pretty fast, which was good because went by there probably about 100 people. There was that much more. Yeah, it was crazy. And it looks like my internet connection is just screwing up, man. I don't know what's going on. So I apologize for those who are here if it's messing up or anything like that. I can see over on Instagram that it's skipping around and messing up. So I'm assuming that it's doing the same thing here. So I apologize. I'm not sure what's going on with the internet, but it is it is messing up on me. But we'll get through this. And if anything, I have my coffee chat tomorrow too. So um let's jump into that really quick here. So Morgan over here is at a 7. Jojo, what's your number? What is your number on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome? How are you feeling? How are you doing? How are things going? Also, episode 620 went out. Episode 621 will be coming out this coming Wednesday. Excellent episodes. These episodes that are going to be coming up weekly here are the 5 or 6 episodes that I recorded live at National APCO in Baltimore. So there's no video, it's all audio. Was gonna do video. However, the problem is that there's so many people walking through there. My tripod was very obvious. It was very obvious. It was right there. And there was a dude. this was kind of hilarious a little bit. Because this dude and some friends, like, here's the tripod, right? They're walking this way. The guy, I see him look right at the tripod like 3 or 4 times. Like he's looking to see how close he's getting, and then almost topples it over. I'm like, dude, I was watching you. Like all I could think was maybe he thought that the tripod was going to move. I don't know. But it was hilarious, man, because I saw the dude looking at it, and he kept looking and looking and looking, and then almost toppled it over, and I thought, "There's no way. There's no way as soon as those doors open," because if you've ever been to a national conference, even a state conference, as soon as they open the doors for the vendor hall, it goes apeshit. Like, there's people everywhere, and you're just doing your thing. And people don't got time to look out for the tripod. Even when someone did have a chance to look at the tripod, they still almost toppled it over. Again, which was fine. So I didn't have any video for it, but I was at the booth with Rapid SOS because we have this partnership with the podcast and everything. And so we had a lot of fun while we were out there. We did the scavenger hunt, I had people coming in. But again, that's why these episodes that are coming up back to back to back are going to be just audio. So it'll be, an image on there, the image of the podcast, the cover that is, and then the whole episode is audio. Oh, what's up? It's my girl Erica. What's going on? She says, that would be me. Full of doing awkward things. I would have knocked it over. You know what? Maybe. You would have been walking with whoever and you'd wave like, hey, what's going on? And I would probably be, videoing at the time. I would help you up, but it would be after a few pictures. I'm just joking. I don't think you would topple it over. You're I don't think so. But it's kind of funny to think. Let's see. Jojo over here says, so her number is a 10. She says, her and her wife are back home from a family trip. Awesome. I hope you had an excellent time. And being at a number 10, must have been badass. Must have been a good time. Erica, what is your number on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome. What is your number? I'll see what you put in the comments here shortly. So, along with that, again, episode 621 is going to be coming out this Wednesday. Already got some clips ready to go out as well because there's just a lot of good stuff, a lot of powerful stories, not just in that episode, but all of the episodes that have been, that have been coming out. Just excellent stuff. Also, as I mentioned, that if this keeps messing up, you can also see me tomorrow morning. It won't be on social media. It'll be exclusively on in the Trenches community. And if you are not a member yet, check it out. I've got about 200 hours worth of free continuing education that is on there, and it is just a bunch of different spaces as well. There are a ton of members. I don't remember how many, but I'm trying to keep in there. I've just been so busy with things. I'm gonna have to get some volunteer admins to help me with that and do some even more stuff with it. The Public Safety Showcase is also part of that, and the Dispatchers Roundtable. Whenever I do one on social media, it now lives within that community. So again, it's the Trenches community. The easiest way to join, and it's for free. It's free. There's nothing you have to buy, nothing like that. It's all free. So let me put this in the comments. That's links with 2eyes.co/IAM911. And then once you go there, just scroll down and you'll see a button that says to join the community. So a lot of good stuff there. And Erica says that she's a solid 9 tonight. Very, very cool. Also, congratulations. My good friend Erica here, going back to school. Very, very awesome. Very cool stuff. And I know that you've been busting your ass. So well done. And I am very proud of you. Very, very cool. Very cool. So, as I was saying, if this, like, if it gets kind of weird or whatever, Wi-Fi or internet style. Go to the community on Mondays, unless I'm traveling. But on Mondays, I do a coffee chat for just 30 minutes, 9 in the morning, sometimes 10, depending on some whatever else I might have going on in the morning. But it's normally at 9 a.m. There's a notification that goes out. I go live within the community and we just chill. We just talk. We just see what's on everyone's agenda for the week. And you are very welcome. Yeet. And you are able to just be in there in the audience, just like this. And we just chat and everything and talk it up. And on Wednesdays, I have one as well, usually at 9, but lately it's been at 10 because I've just been having some meetings in the morning on Wednesdays, so it's been at 10, but usually it's at 9. Either way, the notification goes out. And for Wednesday, it's just the midweek check-in, just to see how everyone's doing. Again, about 30 minutes or so, depending on the conversation, because sometimes it goes a little longer. And so it all depends on all of that. But one of the things that I want to do, though, is especially because we're going into October, we're going into Halloween time, and for a lot of you, Erica, I'm looking at you. For a lot of you, it has been Halloween since the day after last year's Halloween, since November 1st. It has been Halloween for you. Or September 1st, spooky season jumps in. However, whichever. What I'm getting at is one of the things I want to do in the community is have like a movie night. And maybe we can watch some scary movies or some Twilight Zone episodes or something like that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And we could just get there, get on, get on screen and stuff and just kind of critique and, maybe laugh it up on whatever it is that we're watching or something. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. So again, there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing with the community. But next month, I believe it's October 22nd. I have to double check. But it's going to be the next installment of the Public Safety Showcase. We've got speakers lined up for that. And also, we've got the Dispatchers Roundtable. I believe we're going to be doing that one on culture. We've actually been talking about it for a few months now, or I've been talking about it for a few months now, that's going to be the topic. And just with all the travel and everything that's been going on, I just have not had the chance to do it. So hoping to do that maybe next week as we go into the end of it, end of this month, that is. And then, we're just going to keep putting stuff out there, giving back to the 911 profession for free. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. So, over here on Instagram, looks like my homie, I believe it's Donna, because her name is Mother of Woofs, has checked in over here. And so excellent. Hello. If it is not you, Donna, either way, Mother of Woofs, hello, welcome. So really quick, just one more time, coffee chats Monday morning, 9 a.m. And then same time on Wednesdays, sometimes at 10, the notification goes out. If you're part of the community, it's exclusive to the community. You can ask questions. Again, everything. We just talk, hang out, have a good time, have a good conversation, and all of that. So something to look out for there as well. And Mother Wolf says, hey, homie, it is Donna. What's up, yo? What is going on? Let's see. Mention the public safety show. I'm looking at my notes over here to make sure I've got everything. So I want to share. Let me say this first. This is going to be a little backwards of what I was going to do originally. So I want to mention this first because I'm sure all of you can relate to this. But I saw this meme actually just a little bit before I went live, and the meme showed like a picture of a dispatcher. I'm going to butcher it, and I didn't save it. I should have, so I could have put it on the screen. But basically what it was saying was like, don't talk shit to dispatch or else dispatch will send you to, I think it said, wherever the fuckistan. and I thought that was pretty hilarious. And it made me think of two things. First, I remember working an evening in dispatch, and again, this is years ago, but I remember working an evening where FTO comes in with a trainee, and he was showing the trainee dispatch, and one of my partners says hello to this dude, and he just like ignores her. And I remember her kind of looking at me, and I looked at him, and I thought, oh. I was like, okay. Now, maybe the dude was nervous. Maybe he just was like that dialed in that, he really didn't want to talk. He didn't want to say hello or anything. And that's completely fine. But here's the thing. The sergeant who was doing the FTOing and everything, he noticed that. And he ends up pulling him to the side, and we can hear him. And I'm sure he did it on purpose. But he said to him, look, do not treat these folks like shit. Don't be like that with them. They're the ones who are going to be sending you places, answering, doing all kinds of stuff for you. So you need to appreciate them. And we're sitting there as he's saying this, and we're like, oh shit. We're like, thank you for that. And then he ends up saying to him also, be nice, because they're going to send you to every shit call. and we started, we kind of chuckled. We're like, ha ha ha, tee hee, ha ha. And the dude ended up, he ended up apologizing. He had been having a hard night either way. And then this happens. So we're like, oh, snaps. We're like, it's all good, man. And he's like, no, I'm sorry. Let's see. Mother Wolf's over here says, we will send you to the worst report call at the very end of your shift and not give a shit. Word. So with that said, a different story here. Okay. So I'm working mornings during this time, and I'm pretty sure it was when I was supervisor, because it was the only time that I had an actual like morning stint that I did. When I got a promotion to supervisor, I thought I was going to be going back to nights. Nope. Negative. Going to mornings. And it was horrible. Nothing against anyone who loves mornings. There's nothing wrong with mornings. I just always worked midnights, so that was my love. So me personally, I wanted midnights. So that's all I mean. So, hold on over here. Jojo says, that's why I like having them type of talk on the radio when they visit. Yeah, dude. I feel it. Yes. Excuse me. So on mornings, an officer, good friend of mine who worked for the city. So the city always had two working, and then, they had their sergeant or whoever who was on duty as well. And, oh, wait, we got another person over here. The folks over here on Instagram are adding some stuff. So there's one here that says, there's nothing wrong with mornings, except management is there. Yes. Yeah, that too. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That part does suck, because you're just kind of there and you see them walk by and you're like, oh, 10-4. Even if there's nothing going on. Oh, that's funny. Hold on a minute. I'm already crying. So I'm on mornings, okay? And this one officer, my homeboy Matt, he would come in the morning, like early in the morning, okay? And he would bring a can of Monster for him and I, and maybe like McDonald's breakfast or something, breakfast of runners up, not breakfast of champions, breakfast of runners up. and we would sit there and we would eat, and then we would take down the cans of Monster, and we'd be like, just like, all right, let's rock, like, let's do this. And Mother of Woofs and a burrito? No. I learned my lesson. Oh, I think one of my homies, Flashpoint Podcast. Is that Aaron? Is that you? If it is, welcome. Welcome. So, here's the thing. So, oh, wait a minute. Mother Wolf says, damn, I tried to delete it. Nope, I saw it. Jojo says McDonald's pancakes and Red Bull. Oh, snaps. Oh, well, I never tried that one. Aaron, yeah, what's up, yo? It's been a while, dude. I want to hear more about your podcast and how the Flashpoint is going. So get this, okay? Like I said, there was a sergeant on, right? And then 2 city officers. Well, I thought one of the city officers was a sergeant as well. And I don't know about all of you, but the way we would do it on the radios is the city officers were always getting the calls first. And then if they were getting stacked, then, we would have the sergeant go to help out. So, and I still feel like an asshole for this. Matt and I are still good friends. I haven't seen him in a while because, he's in Michigan and I'm here in Indiana. I need to get with that dude. But here's the shitty thing. I would be on the radio and I would call his number and I would tell him that there was a call coming or that there was a call available, and he's like 10-4, and he would go. Next call comes in, not really high priority, so I was just kind of holding it for him because I think the other person is a sergeant. So I was holding it because it wasn't a high priority. It was low priority. It was fine. So then he clears, and I'm like 10-4, be en route to whatever. Here's the thing. I don't remember how long I did this, but we finally had a conversation about it because he goes, dude, this whole time I've thought like maybe I've annoyed you or something. And I said, why? And he goes, well, because you were sending me to all of these calls. And I said, yeah, well, it's only because so-and-so is a sergeant. And that's how and he starts laughing. And I went, oh no. Oh, no, really? And he's like, what? And I said, are you telling me that so-and-so is not a sergeant? And he goes, no, he's not. And I went, oh, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, the whole time, like Mrs. Doubtfire, the whole time. And he's just dying laughing. And I was like, oh, you were just joking with me. He's like, no, I'm not joking with you. I was like, oh, bro, why didn't you tell me? And he goes, because I was doing my job. He goes, besides, I like being busy anyway. He goes, but after a little while, I thought maybe he's mad at me. I was like, no, dude, I love you, man. I was like, we're homies. I was like, we're brothers, dude. I was like, I am so fucking sorry this whole time. I was like, you could have told me. So then we're we're at a party or cookout or something, and that other officer was there. And I said, dude, he said, you never said a word. And he goes, I just figured like you're gonna send him. I'm just gonna chill in the PD. I was like, man, Wow. I still feel like an asshole. Has anyone else ever done that? Oh man, every now and then we would talk about it. I would still apologize, like, dude, I am so sorry. I'll probably send him a text later on, maybe tomorrow. I'll be like, dude, I told this story last night. I just want to say I'm sorry. Oh man, but that dude is a good sport, though. Awesome, awesome person, awesome human being, man. And maybe that's why he was always coming up with the energy drinks and breakfast, because he's like, he keeps giving me calls. Uh, you never know. But that meme that I saw earlier that I was talking about, it made me think of that. It's so crazy, man, but hilarious at the same time. Again, like I said, I still feel like an asshole about it. All right, so I want to share something with all of you. And I want to see, depending on those who are watching right now, what your thoughts are on this stuff, okay? So, I don't know how many of you are on the X platform, which, formerly Twitter. I go on there to lately has been mostly for there's been a lot of like nostalgic type posts that I've been seeing, and I've been sending these to my brother and my sons, and just kind of talking about it. So here's the first one that I want to share with all of you. I thought this might be a good like reflection. Oh, snaps. Okay, here we go. Kmart. I don't know if there's any Kmarts around anymore. Maybe a few. I don't know. I know all the Kmarts that were like where I grew up are gone. And the ones here around excuse me, Fort Wayne are gone. So, but I remember these little flyers going into Kmart with my mom and my grandmother and seeing them there and us picking them up, to read through them and stuff. And really quick, as this is up here, I want to read over here. Donna says, yesterday I had to send one of my favorite guys to deal with a woman who thought she was married to Elon Musk. And what? And who couldn't decide if the cat she was holding was a cat or a dog. All right. What was what was the outcome? Was it a cat or a dog? And I mean, I guess if they're married, I mean, hey, more Teslas there. You you can get free Teslas. Erica says, OMG, me and my friend Sam were just talking about how much we miss Kmart the other day. The one in Marshall just closed a few years ago. Yeah, man, Kmart was the shit. Like, they had some good stuff. Just one more store that was killed by, Walmart and Amazon and whatever, other online stores to shop from. Oh wait, over here, Jojo says it's crazy how many businesses have closed. Joanne Fabrics, Claire's, Party City. Yeah, Party City of all things. I would have never thought Party City would go out. So, okay, looking at this here really quick. How many of you remember those Jumpin' Jack cheese Doritos? I do. I remember those. Those were hella good. I mean, of course, you've got classic nacho cheese flavor, but man, the new Jumpin' Jack Doritos, those were the shit. But also, look at the price here. Look at that price. So these are sales for Super Bowl, yo. Doritos, $1.77 a bag. And now what are they? They're like $7.99, maybe? Something like that. It's definitely not like it used to be. M&Ms, a 1-pound bag of M&Ms, $1.97. What? No shit. But a lot of this I remember. Super Bowl time, Super Bowl savings. You know, get all of your stuff for the game that's going to be coming up and get ready for the commercials. Hell yes. Just kind of reflecting on that right now. Like, that was the thing, man. Like, that was what people waited for. It's not like now. See, this is the thing that sucks. This is what I tell my kids about, that they won't understand what that experience was like, because we didn't have shit online. We didn't have anything like that. So you didn't know. You knew that the commercials were going to be crazy, like crazy awesome. But there wasn't a hint like there is now. Like now on social media, on YouTube, you know, Doritos, for example, they will end up doing like 2 or 3 different commercials. And then they'll do the separate one during the Super Bowl. But they have all of these different ones that they put out, and sometimes they come out before, and you're like, this is kind of ruined. Jojo says, now you can pay to not have commercials on apps. Yeah, true. Yeah. I haven't done that yet. But if there was a way, though, like if it took away just the medications, the amount of medications in commercials, like I would pay extra to not have that be every single fucking commercial. Like, hey, does your stomach ache? Yeah? Well, we've got something for you. But by the way, it is also going to make your ears fall off, your eyes fall out, and your legs gone. But you won't have that stomach ache anymore. Yeah, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that bullshit. Like, I've shown my kids commercials. You can go on YouTube and you can just type in like 80s commercials or 90s commercials, and we'll sit there and we'll watch them. And they'll go, this is amazing. Like, these are actually really creative. Some of them are super cheesy, but then I explain to them that's the marketing aspect of it, because that is how they're going to get you to remember that commercial. Yeah. It's like those, what was it? Country Crock butter commercials, when you would just see the hands and the 2 voices, the husband and the wife, they're talking about the butter and all this other stuff, but it's just the hands. It's all you see. And then if you're really listening, paying attention to the voices, the guy's voice is the dad from Rugrats. He was Stu. Yeah. But my kids will always say, like, why don't we get these commercials? All the commercials we see over and over are about pills. And I'm like, I know. I was like, it sucks. And they love the Mentos commercials. How many of you loved those Mentos commercials? Yeah, dude. Yeah. Those were good. Excuse me. Let's see. Don over here says, even the Super Bowl commercials haven't been as cool lately. Yeah. You know, one of my favorite commercials during that time, I remember I was, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 years old. It was the Bud Bowl. Do you remember that? Budweiser versus Bud Light. And the one that I remember specifically was where they're in the stadium and it snowed. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Jojo says, with all the terrible symptoms, yes. I showed them Max Headroom commercials. I have shown them those commercials as well. Jojo says, I don't want to grow up. I want to be a Toys R Us kid. Yes, exactly. Donna says Mentos, the fresh maker. They were the best. Those were the best commercials. And you really don't see stuff like that anymore, which sucks. So, looking back at these ads here really quick, I mean, look what's down in the bottom. Maxwell, blank VHS video cassette tapes. Hopefully, those of you who are watching right now know what a VHS video cassette tape is. Wow, it says with 2, 4, or 6 hour recording time. Then you've got your excuse me, you've got your detergent here, you've got your bags. I mean, that box of bags right there for 99 cents now is probably 14 or 15 bucks. And you can get it scented or unscented. Get them unscented. The scented ones suck. Unless you love those, to each their own. Me personally, I was using some scented ones earlier today because I grabbed the wrong damn box, and I still have kind of a headache from it. I feel like shit. The next ones I want to put on here. Oh my God, look at that. What? See, again, I remember this shit. Kmart, again, they've got their 3-pack of 2, 4, 6 hour blank video cassettes. Oh, just reflecting on this stuff. It just made me think a lot, and I thought, you know what? I wonder how many people watching tonight will remember some of this. And I love Erica. I love you here. You know, saying that you and Sam were talking about this stuff and everything. And yeah, dude, these are some of the stores. I mean, look at that. Sonic the Hedgehog #2 with a Sega Genesis, 119 bucks for the Sega system. Now some video games they cost 119 bucks for one game. But if you think about the Nintendo 64 and a lot of those other ones, those games were that much as well. And then you've got, of course, your classic Nintendo here. Oh, wait, over here. Donna says, Kmart, FTW. We always got a cart with a wonky wheel. Dude, for real. And not just Kmart. Like, I was in Kroger the other day, and I had a cart with a wonky wheel. It's like, it never fails. It never fails. But look at this right here. Again, Kmart. This says, right up here, 1990, 1990. I was 9 years old. Holy moly, I was 9 years old when this came out. I'm 44 now. Holy shit. Nintendo sale, the quality you need, the price you want. $99, dude, for the system. 89 bucks for the Game Boy. I mean, how many of you had this shit? I had this. Also, that Power Glove, 74 bucks for the Power Glove. That thing was cool. And it sucked. Because you could use it for Rad Racer. I don't know if you remember that. It was a racing car game. And you had the glove, and you would have to beep boop beep boop boop boop. Like, you had to put in all of this programming code just so that you could go like this and drive it. Here's the thing. How far ahead was Nintendo during that time? Because if you think about it, years and years later, they come out with the Nintendo Wii, which is basically the same type of control, but it's now wireless, super smooth, no programming needed. It just works. But also that Power Glove, you could program it to play Super Mario Brothers. And I'm saying this out loud, it sounds dumb, but it was cool back then. You would close your fist holding the glove, and you would jump to make him jump up and down. Sorry, I have some acid reflux going on right now, so it's making me cough. I apologize. Let me look over here on Instagram. Donna, well, hold on. Let me go to the top here. Jojo says to record shows, not to miss program shows before DVR. Yes, that was the other thing. Like you had to put it on a certain number, the channel number, so that it would go in through the VCR, and then you could record whatever TV show you wanted, because for some of the younger folks who are watching, you couldn't just go back and watch. If you missed that bitch, sorry, you missed it. You're never going to see it again unless there's some sort of rerun. That was it. And excuse me, in between commercials, as soon as the show went to the commercial, I remember like somebody, like one of my siblings, usually me, because I was the oldest, would run to the kitchen. We're like, okay, what do you guys want? What do you guys want? Get popcorn, get chips, or whatever. Run over there, get it, and come back before the commercials were done. Or you've been going to the bathroom, and as soon as the commercial hits, you're like, let me know what happens if I don't make it back in time. And you're like in the bathroom, you're like, oh my gosh, hurry up. And then you come back and you're like, oh, we made it just in time. Oh man, that was something. It was something. Now we'll be watching stuff. I'll be watching stuff with my kids, and it'll show the amount of time in the upper right-hand corner of commercials. And it's like a minute and a half. And my kids go, oh. I'm like, dude, you have no idea. Like sometimes commercials were like 3 minutes. Sometimes it was under a minute, and then you were screwed because you missed everything. Erica says, yes, the snack run during commercials was so stressful sometimes. Yes, hell yes. Super stressful. You'd be running, you're like, I gotta make it back. And a lot of times for us, it would mostly be during Halloween, Thanksgiving, and especially Christmas, because you would go to CBS, Channel 3 for me, and you always knew when the cartoons, whether it be Garfield Christmas, Garfield Halloween, especially Halloween, Charlie Brown, Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, or Christmas and stuff, but you would always know on CBS when it was about to come on, or like Rudolph, Frosty, like all of those classics, you always knew, because they would go into a screen and it would say special, and it would start spinning all of these different colors, and it would go shoo, boom, boom, and then it would start, and you're like, ow. Anybody else remember that? Do you remember the special thing? It would pop up and it would just start spinning, and it would have it had kind of a tune like that. It was just like just kicking it. And then it would start, and you're there, and you'd be watching, you're like, this is great. And then my mom would say, Richie, did you take the garbage out? And we're like, oh yeah, can it wait? Can it wait, please? Can it wait until a commercial? Yes, it's fine. Thank you. So then as soon as it went to commercial, start hauling ass, running to the kitchen, getting it, and then make sure you put that in there. Okay. Make sure, go get the bathroom garbage too. Like, oh my God, I'm going to miss it. Even though I've watched it every year still, and that was the thing. Like, we didn't own it on VHS or anything. We only watched it during that time. Eventually, we did end up getting it, but it was special. So I would haul ass running, take the cans out, take the garbage out, and ah, run back inside. And a lot of times, you know, it would already start, and I'm like, dang it. Oh man. Again, stuff that my kids won't get to experience. Donna says, Channel 3 for me too. All of the Garfield holiday cartoons are amazing. The special intro is bomb. Yes, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, good. Yes. Yeah, those were a lot of the things. And then the next day, especially Super Bowl, the next day at school, going in and saying, did you guys see that one commercial? Did you see that one commercial? Did you see that movie that's going to be coming out? And it was the talk of like that first day back. Everyone talking about all the cool stuff that we saw. And then there would be, you know, someone would say, did you see this commercial? And you're like, what? Wait, what? You didn't see that commercial? No. Oh, I missed it. It must have been when I went to the bathroom, or it must have been I was getting more food or something. And you're like, damn it, I missed it. So then they would tell you, and you're just but now now you can go on YouTube, and you know, whatever it was that you missed back then, you can just look it up now, and you can see it. There have been shows that now you can go back and binge watch, and I can't think of which ones now, but you see that episode, you're like, I never saw this one. I never saw it. And then you did. And of course, it's one of two things. Either it was so good, or it's like, I guess I didn't miss much. Oh man. Nostalgia. Tell you. Super Nintendo right here. Dick Tracy on VHS, $15. And then of course, Ninja Turtles, man. Ninja Turtles. Look at that, all of that. So many different things. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I thought it was pretty funny, and I wanted to kind of compare and see if you remembered some of this stuff as well. Don over here says, and then we got older, and it was, did you see the halftime show? I remember Prince's halftime show. We talked about it for days. Prince's halftime show was amazing. Yes, I loved it. One of the ones that I loved as well, though, was The Who. I love The Who. And when they did the Super Bowl show, I was like, damn, like they're still rocking it, man. Yes. Yeah, all of that stuff. I tell you what. Nostalgia. Again, I just wanted to put that up there to talk with you guys about it and just go down memory lane, because memory lane can be fun. And part of memory lane, I think I've talked about this before, but sometimes, whether it be a TV show or music or whatever back in the day, you know, sometimes I will think about some of that stuff and think and kind of compare to now as an adult, how some of that shaped me. And I think like when I put stuff out there, sometimes I will tease it, and I will tease it for a while. And it's because of stuff like this. It's because of what I remember. Also because of pro wrestling and the storytelling and stuff there. I love doing shit like that. And a lot of you know that. But like the commercials, like the waiting, like the build up, like that stuff has followed me. And I do that in a lot of things that I do with content creation and stuff. Don over here says memory lane can be a good place to visit. Yes. Yes, definitely. And it's good for that time, right? Either one of those times. And I say that too because as you guys all know, I'm a big fan of Twilight Zone, and earlier today I was watching an episode where it starts out kind of like a silent movie, and they're in 1890, and this main character is a janitor, and he's in this building where these scientists are, and they make this helmet that's for time travel. And the guy is saying that excuse me, that it's so noisy where he's at, and the prices are just way, way high, and there's a lot of complaints. Well, he takes the time helmet, and he ends up going to 1962 from 1890. And when he gets there, there's cars, tons more people, prices even way higher. And it basically what it is like stay in your own lane. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Be careful what you wish for because you might get it. But at what cost? And then there's a guy from 1962 who wants to go back to 1890 because he wants that type of life. He wants to be where there's not really a lot of, the same as 1962. It's not as busy and, all this other stuff. So they end up going back together. And the dude who's from 1962, he starts complaining and he says, I don't, because he's a scientist, and he goes, all the stuff that I used in 1960, none of it exists here. I can't do anything here. So he prefers the more busy, and the guy who's from 1890 ends up sending him back. And that is at the end what Ron Serling ends up saying, that it's basically like, just stay in your own lane. It's good to visit, but you can't stay there because you've already been there. And you just take your memories, what you have, and you bring it with you and apply it to, whatever in the future. It's a really good episode. You'll have to check it out if you're into that. But what I was going to say as well is when I think about when I reflect and I go down memory lane and stuff, and I think about some of the things that I do. When I was about 9 or 10, and I know I've mentioned this before, but for those who haven't heard this yet, when I was around that age, I used to write little stories, and I would have music, and this one specific album that I have, it's like Bass Computer or something like that. I found it on Apple Music, and I downloaded it, and I listened to it every now and then. But what I would do is I would write these little stories, and I had 2 tape players, and I would play the music on one tape player, and I would hit play and record on the other one at the same time. And I would read the story that I wrote with that music in the background. And there was one day that I was putting a video together, and I had the music playing as my narration was going, and I stopped, and I sat back, and I just started laughing, and I thought, holy crap. I'm doing exactly what I did as a kid, but it's what I do for a living now. That was what I was doing back then, and I do it now. What the hell? What are the odds? Like, you never know. You never know how things are going to happen. You never know how what experience in the past in your life will end up helping you somehow in the future. Another example really quick before we wrap up here. I was in dispatch with a trainee, and I'm listening at the other console, and it's a domestic. And as I'm listening, I hear the person hang up. And when I hear the person hang up, I hear this pulse. And my trainee goes to hang up, and I said, no, don't hang up. Don't hang up. And she says, why? And I said, because this person is going to pick up the phone again here in just a moment, and they're going to try to call 911. And when they pick up the phone, that's when you jump in. And my trainee goes, oh, okay. Like, you can tell they look puzzled, but also a look of like, how the fuck do you know? How do you know that that's what that person's going to do? And sure enough, a few seconds later, the phone picks up and the person goes to dial again. And I said, now. Trainee jumps in. We get everybody out there. Everything ends up being okay. Now, when the trainee gets off the phone, they look at me and they say, how did you know that was going to happen? How did you know? And I said, well, for one, I'm old. I said, I'm old. And she starts laughing and she goes, okay. And I said, look, when I was a kid, my friends and I used to play on the phone. And before touch tone, dial tone, there was a pulse. And if you were on the phone with someone and they hung up and you didn't hang up, the phone line stayed open. And I know this because my friends and I would play on the phone. So we would call each other, and then, you know, one of us would hang on the phone, and then when someone answered back or went to pick up the phone again to make a call or whatever, like, we would be sitting there for a long time sometimes. But when someone would pick up the phone, we would go, ah. I know, asshole thing to do. But that's what we did. We were playing on the phone, and that's how I knew that person was going to pick up the phone, because with the pulse, again, if one person hangs up, but the other person keeps it open, it stays open. It doesn't cut off the phone. It stays open. So I started laughing with her, and she goes, I cannot believe that happened that way. I said, I know. I said, sometimes, you know, some calls are meant for us because of whatever experience in life that we had. And this just happened to work because my friends and I would play on the phone. And I remembered the sound of that pulse. We'll never forget that. Again, memory lane, nostalgia, reflection. Sometimes it helps you in the future. And you think, what are the odds? Oh, man. So good. So good. Well, I have had an amazing time with all of you this evening. This has been so much fun. As you know, I love doing open mic. What number are you at now? Where are you at? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome, where are you? What is your number? I am way above a 10. I have had so much fun with you guys tonight, as always, for Open Mic Live. And a big shout out to InDigital. Thank you very much for sponsoring, as always. Make sure to check them out. InDigital, a leader in next-gen core services. Down over here says she's at a solid 8. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Very, very nice. And shout out to subscribers. As always, thank you for everything. I appreciate it, but especially all of you who are here watching, listening, supporting, sharing. Thank you so very much. If you... oh, Donna says, I started at a 4.5 with a migraine. All right, and we got you to an 8. That's what I'm talking about. Can you hear the rain? Holy hell, that's pretty crazy. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't want something to happen and we lose connection. So and I just put that out there. So hopefully it doesn't happen. Anyway, as always, thank you for everything. If you ever want to be a guest on the OG show, the flagship show Within the Trenches podcast, or you want to be a member of the Trenches community, again, it is for free. You can go to links.co/IM911. And once again, that is links with 2 i's.co/IM911. You'll find everything there. Email, social media, where to hear the latest episodes of Within the Trenches podcast and the Imagine Listening podcast, and also to become a member of the Trenches community. And there's also links there for the store for the clothing. All of that stuff can be found there. So make sure to check it out. Once again, it is links with 2 i's.co/IM911. And again, you'll find everything there. This can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, X, as well as Instagram and LinkedIn Live. And then there are clips from IM911 stories to the podcast as well. Clips all over the place. Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and TikTok. Make sure to check all those out. And then you can listen 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone. Donna, I will send you some rain over there to Texas. Have a good one. And we will see you all in the next one. Well, tomorrow morning. Oh, my mom was on here. My mom, how long have you been watching? Were you watching the whole time? I'm going to throw this up on the screen here. My mom just popping in here like, hola. Hello, Mom. Love you very much. You want to hang out? Coffee chat? Yep. She's been watching time. Coffee chat and become a member. Again, that's on the trend and 9 a.m. time. So, see you all later. We will check you in the next one. Have a good night.